Hey, everybody. Hey, what's up? We're trying to do a podcast with our friend.
Ooh, baby, we got a wild one for you this week. We talk about how to make your fatter, what it's like being on reality TV, and what it's like when one of your friends dies.
Are you ready to dissect the ins and outs of nightlife and partying and what it's like to make a space for you and your community? Well, we sure are. Get ready to have Tokeyo in your ears and in front of your eyes on today's podcast. Did you hate it?
I loved it. Does anyone ever call you Tokeyo? Tell me.
No.
Oh.
Mom!
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom, you end up with a sloppy seconds. Oh, diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspod@gmail.com. Now I'm with the show. How you subs used to be a you, not so you dirty welcome to Sloppy Second Big Dipper, Meatball and that's Big Dipper.
you're really much more amped than you've been for the last 20 minutes.
What are you talking about?
Before we started.
I'm always amped. I'm a cranked diva.
Yeah.
I've already had one Red Bull, and I'm on my second.
I think that you might be overcompensating for how you really feel on the inside.
What do you mean?
Have you had a rough go of it for the last couple of days?
I'm just very tired from the desert. I was at Orville's Rodeo. When is this one coming out?
On Friday.
I was at Orville's Rodeo all weekend, and I had a wonderful time. But there's something about just being outside for like 8 hours. My nose and my throat, I couldn't even sleep. It was so dry.
My throat.
had a steamer, and I put the steamer next to my bed. And it had the clicker on it, and I was just holding the steamer at my face.
Hot? Isn't that like boiling hot?
By the time it reached where my face, like this far away, by the time it reached my face, I was just getting moist air, and then I would fall asleep. And then I would wake up because my face would be hot and sweaty, and then I would start all over again.
Sounds like you really had a grade A, beautiful, amazing...
Don't take acid from a stranger in the desert. I can tell you that much too, faggots.
All right. Why don't you introduce our special guest for today?
Well, please welcome to the studio someone who's ready to throw some in the podcast studio. It's the WeHo party starter, the voice of the hoes. Make some noise for Tokeyo!
I don't know why I did all that. Oh, that's true.
Did you play the Spider-Man game? Are you into video games?
Hell no. I'm not that girl. I'm more of
either.
like a Nintendo 64 girl. Like,
Okay.
So when that went out of style, like, only thing I do is Mario Party.
Oh, yeah. Well, now they have that Switch, so you can, like, play it wherever you go.
Me and my girlies, I don't know if I could say this on podcast. Me and my girlies get, like, super out and, like, play it until, like, 6 a.m.
That would have been me with the desert lady. Yeah, you could. Okay. Yes. Okay.
I mean, I
There's
don't
nothing
do anymore because, you know.
Why
I
not?
live for the Lord. You know what I mean? Live for the mother Lord. So, you know.
Yeah, so you know...
Water only.
Wait, what is the thing that is
Me
circulating...
too, water only.
Yeah. What is the thing that's circulating about giving head is the leading cause of throat cancer? Have you seen this on the internet?
Bitch, that mean I'm about
No,
to
but I
die.
can believe it because I'm going to die soon.
Bitch,
That-
I'm about to die.
has to be misinformation.
Yeah. I don't know,
It
though.
must be.
I don't know.
Well, I had throat. I was taking
Notes.
it, and then it literally like busted out one of my tonsils. Like it was like ripped.
How much?
Who?
Never mind.
This is Michael. But have you ever had that? Have you ever
No.
heard a tonsil?
No, I do one thing, though. Like, before I go into the studio, you never supposed to because, like, your throat going. Because how I suck it, it's, like, down to the nuts. Like, and so, like, with that said, like, your whole, this up. Your whole throat gonna be just discombobulated. So I don't do it if I'm gotta perform.
And you know the dentist, they can tell.
They say that. They said that there's like a bruise on the roof of your mouth or whatever. I don't believe them.
I'm perma bruised.
From who?
Perma bruised.
From all that you be a suck.
What were you just saying? You were like, oh, you should call this Sloppy Top podcast. And I was like, oh, my reputation precedes me. And then you said, have you heard of the new move?
No, there is a new move. I swear to God, like there's
What
a
is it?
crazy
How-
move.
What is
how is
the
it a
new?
new-
There's nothing
Listen.
new. It's all been done.
I know that, but like not to me. Okay, this bitch came over and did some type of shit that had me like I literally said I love
What
you.
happened? Tell us the move.
I don't know it. It's like a secret sauce or something. Like I don't know. It's just like there's
Tangy?
like. No,
Barbecue?
it's like, so when he was doing it, I swear to God, this is crazy. So when he was doing it, there was this sound he was making that was like weird as It's like the type where you smack them off your and say, get out. But it felt
Like
so
a
good.
demon sound?
No, it's like... So why it was happening, there was like this suction. Okay, so weird. Okay, why it was happening, you know when you're going through like the car wash and like there's like all this stuff happening at once where like the water is and then like there's a suction that's happening and then there's a blow. Like it was all happening at once and it was the craziest and he did it like this. So there was like between his hands, there was like water and suction, but also wind. It was just crazy.
It sounded like you got the Captain Planet.
I know. and then I saw him the next day at the gym with a boyfriend. So I said, makes sense.
Oh, that he's booed up because
Yeah.
he like that.
Yeah. That's that type of where
That's the ones where you watch the videos and there's just like you don't understand how much mucus could be produced that way. You know what I'm talking about? Where
It's
it just
so
like
crazy.
drips
I'm
out
not-
and it's like.
but it's
like
also
Fantasia.
but it also it wasn't messy.
It wasn't messy.
wasn't?
Listen, this guy is like Albert Einstein. He's like unlocked the code or some
E equals MC square, baby.
Yes, it was like over pi. It was crazy. Like, anyway, like yeah, it's that new and like I've tried, but I can't get it. It just.
I'm not necessarily. I've said this before. I'm a no hands kind of like. I'm team no hands when it comes to a blowjob. I don't like. You know, the grapefruit thing, the whole like all of the extra. I'm like, just do enough with your mouth, tongue, and throat.
I just fill it out because is different. Can I say the word?
Yeah, you can
Thank
say
God,
it.
cause bitch. So is
Dipper,
different.
you say it now. Okay, never mind that.
That's crazy. It'd be your own friend. No, be different. Like I swear to God, like some dudes like different shit. So
Yeah.
like if I'm like no hands in any and giving all that and it ain't budging, then I'm put my finger on the tank,
Yeah, of course.
twist and
Sure.
It just depends on the guy. But like I always want to get 5 stars. So if I feel like the eye ain't twitching and the leg ain't shiggling and shaking, then I
You're a
gotta do something
5-star
different.
bitch.
I am. Word to Nikki and word to Trina.
You are a night. Do you know that verse?
No.
No, it's not a verse. It's a song that happened like before Nikki like career really took off. She did a song called 5 Star.
Yes, and she does a verse on the song.
Yeah.
And I was saying, do you know the verse?
Oh, it's
Don't
everything.
talk down to
Are you a
him.
big barb?
yes.
Oh my God, Big Dipper, stop it. Really?
He's more
Yeah.
of a barb than I am for sure.
I'm like a diehard. It's so ridiculous.
Time to put the rice in. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
How did you get involved in?
Nah, I just had an epiphany.
I need to go to Tiffany.
Fendi on my slippers, so my cookie always
Slippery.
slippery. Ah! Yeah, it's crazy. I live.
How did you get into nightlife?
And where'd you come from?
Okay, funny story. So,
She's
actually,
like, I just got off the bus.
no, I literally, and I do this weird accent. Oh my God, you're gonna hear it probably a lot, and I don't mean to do it, but it just happens. Anyway, so basically, what happened was, one of my good friends is Selena Cities, and me and Selena used to have an apartment in West Hollywood, and we weren't in nightlife, but we always was like creating, you know what I mean, doing shit. And then at one point, she decided she wanted to be a drag queen, and I said, I'm gonna be a go-go dancer. So I started at this place called Foo Bar. No
know
longer
Foo Bar.
exists.
R.I.P.
No longer exists. She's, and she's
It's a
she's dead.
refrigerator now.
Yeah. But they had this party called Booty Bumpin' Fridays. Shout out to Lucas John Junkin. I think that's his name. He had a party there every Friday, Booty Bumpin' Fridays. And bitch, I had ass. Like, I ain't have a body, but bitch, ass was always peachy. So I DM'd him and said, I want to work. And he said, okay, come. And so it was like, that was my intro to it, but it still wasn't busting because like, it just, you know what I mean? When you first start, you just don't understand it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was my intro to really nightlife.
And did you have what brought you to LA? Or are you from LA?
Yeah, so I was born in Arkansas, but I moved to LA when I was 1. So
Okay. So
I'm a LA
you're a
bitch.
townie.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always feel like people who come, I know for me, like I had a totally different idea of what LA was and what I wanted to do out here when I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna move to LA and my goal. So what were you like focused on before nightlife? What were you like thinking about doing?
Well, I don't. That's a complicated question because,
Oh.
like, I've had like a crazy life. Like before I even decided to like get into like nightlife, I was like foster care, and then from foster care I went to like the streets, Santa Monica, Highland. Shout out to Donut Time, R.I.P. And
Wow.
then I went to prison, and so then I got out of prison, and I was like, bitch, what the you gonna do, ho? Because I'm not a McDonald's type of bitch. Like I'm not a flipping burgers, like you know what I mean.
You've got too much charisma
But
for
I've
it.
also been talented my whole life. Like I've also like when I was in foster care and before I got adopted, I would be in talent shows, and so I knew it had to be in entertainment. But one thing I did not have was connections, or I didn't know anybody, and like you know what I mean. Like certain those things matter. But I also understood sex, so and it don't matter who you are or where you from, bitch. If that is fat, you gonna get on.
That's true.
You gonna get on, and
You
so
should have
that's what
actually
I
called your party that.
fat.
No, fat.
No, fat. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I always tell them to get their fatter. Like if they just ain't there.
That's
and
what
we
I
need to work.
always tell people.
You consider
That's
I
what I
do.
get
Oh,
Oh, you're not
embroidered
working
on a-
enough? Have you considered getting your And that's really how it sounds.
That's really how it sound like. You know what I mean? I don't know, because people always be like, step your up. And like, what if they can't step it up? You know what I mean? Like,
What if they
have
stuck with what they got?
You know what I mean? You better beat that up and get that fat.
So how did you go from go-go dancing to now like hosting multiple parties?
So shout out to Hollywood. So Hollywood is
Hollywood.
my girly. Like and also I call him my Eskimo in many ways because he was the first person that gave me a stage and saw potential in who I was on that stage and literally moved me in. So like, funny story, when I first met Hollywood, we were just like on Instagram and I was like, oh my God, you're so dope. And at that point I was like really selling sex on Instagram. Like I was linking up with these dope ass photographers from like, there was just dope people coming from UK and all these like dope photographers taking like shots of me at like Deep Creek and all these sexual stuff. And so he was like, your content is dope. And so I was like, he said, I just moved here. I'm doing daddy issues here. And like, do you want to come and gig? And then I was like, yeah. And then this is going to be a long story, but I'll make it hella short. Don't worry. And then I was like, I messaged him and I was like, can I do your next daddy issues? And he's like, I would love for you to do my next daddy issues. There's just no budget, but I'm going to have you do the next one. You know what I mean? Where there's budget. I said, girl, I don't need no budget. Just give me a stage.
Ooh.
And so that month I went to the party. And bitch, moment I got on that stage, bitch, I ate it up. Ain't ass fatter that clap like this. So not only did he find budget to he was just like, girl, I gotta pay you. You just ate down. And he was just from that moment on, I worked with him at everything they've done from that moment. And it just from being on that stage, he saw that it was more than just twerking. He saw that it was more than just like, give me money, body, pecs. He said,
Just the list.
girl, let me give you a mic.
Calves, toes.
Yeah.
Well, so that is
eyelids.
You know, I used to be the door girl there. We must have met.
a daddy issue.
A daddy issue.
Yeah, but like I was such a slut, and also like
Well, I was outside. There was no way I was ever in there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I was such a slut that like I was so driven. Like there's this thing that happens in our industry where like people dick ride, and so they want to say hi to everybody and blah blah. I have never been that girl. So like if you were at the door, if you were doing stuff, I like if we crossed paths and it was meant for us to like communicate and talk, like we gonna kiki. Other than that, like I'd be focused on the job, and when the job is done, I take my black ass home.
I feel I'm the same way.
And
the
what
minute
is
I'm done, I
being
want to
a
go home.
slut? How is that related to any of what you just said? You
Because
just said
I'm-
I was such a slut.
Yeah, when I'm at a gig, I'm such a slut. That means that I am slutty as shit.
Oh,
And I
then
have
you're on the
one,
box.
Yes, and I have one goal, and that's to get coin.
They're not interested in talking to a wig, you know,
I
when they're
understand.
slutting it
No,
out.
but
They
it's
want
not
that
even
coin.
that. It's not even that. I feel like I said, when we get out there, it's about money, and I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, I feel like some people wanted the scene aspect. Bitch, I want to get rich. Like, and I always, that's always been my thing. Like, that's why I don't really have problems with anybody because I don't have beef. Like, my favorite from the Queen, her biggest stick back in the day was like, I don't have a beef with nobody. I don't give a about you, who you're. I got a problem with being broke. That's it. Like, that is my only problem in life. And so I've always been like just focused on getting to the bag. You know what I mean? Getting
Yeah,
that coin.
absolutely. Now, do you have any tips for go-go's? Because I get real annoyed with some of mine.
But see, you're asking a different because a go-go dancer
But I did-
typically is a very independent job, right? You're told get on the box. This is your shift. This is who subs you out, and it's up to you to make of it what you can.
Yes, and that's what it's.
Your party, they're stagehands.
But
No,
also,
only one of them is.
But
Oh,
also, like I'm.
The other ones just disappear whenever you're
They
like,
do
aren't you
disappear.
supposed to be on stage? And then they're
Dancing.
like gone.
They're
Good
just
girl.
hanging out with their
They're
Good girl,
out there
though.
hanging out with their friends, getting paid to just chit chat and drink for free.
That's a vibe.
But
Not
not
for
once
me.
she once stood up on the stage. Okay, I want to hear more about this, but let's take a quick break.
And we're back. You know Wicked? You ever seen Wicked?
I love Wicked. That was my first musical ever. So I was in foster care and they gave the group home kids free tickets to see Wicked at the Pantages Theater. And bitch, it was, bitch, oh my God. Like, bitch, it was so good. There's like certain things in your life that just give you so much influence and make you want more for yourself. And Wicked was one of those things. Like, I was defying gravity at the top of my lungs. The bitch can't sing the same for her life. But you couldn't tell me no different in the shower when that alphabet. Why couldn't you say, I'm flying off the handle?
What? Instead of flying off the handle. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Slay. Perfect. Love it.
I also want to point out how amazing it is that you have cut the one finger off your glove so you can use
Well, how do they
your
do it?
phone.
Bitch, I am a social media girl. I need my phone at all times. And, at first, it's funny. So I was like, okay, every time I do looks like this a lot. So I always have to cut like at least one out, even if I'm wearing gloves. And so I do two things. I either like put rings on it or I put some polish on it. And I ain't got time to put polish on this morning because I woke up late, child.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that because now with daylight savings time, you only must get like 2 hours of sunlight a day. Because you're really a nightlife girl.
No, so that's the misconception. I
Drag
swear.
her ass.
I feel like you must be up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning every
Listen,
night.
So the misconception is I'm such a nightlife girl. Girl, do you really want to know the tea?
Yes.
The tea is I got one job where I work one day a week, and that is Saturday. I have fixed up my life. I'm grateful, really highly favored and blessed that I get to work one night in the week. That's it. And that's nightlife. But other than that, bitch, I am put my foot up. I'm watching Netflix, girl, and I don't do for the whole week, except for go to the gym.
But I feel like you
work 1 night a
hustle
month.
because you're always recording some music.
I hustle.
Making a video.
But I do hustle. But like when it comes to nightlife,
You're not like a bar fly. Like
no,
always.
no. I feel like I feel like it's important to look like that. It's
Yeah.
important to.
Well, now you've revealed all. Right here.
Yeah,
Now they're going to
exclusive.
know.
Yeah, but it's fine, bitch. I put in the time, child. My ass is tired. You know
Well,
what I mean?
let's talk about it. So what we're talking about is your party, Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Named after
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn Wildenstein.
Jocelyn. Hmm?
No, it's named after
So a lot of
Jocelyn
people.
from the
Jocelyn
HBO
Fox.
show.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't. I hear it all the time. They're like, "Oh, Jocelyn from Cabaret," and like Jocelyn from Hip Hop, like Love Hip Hop. And I'm like, no. So
Jocelyn.
So this is what happened. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a long story. Shout out to Andreas Rigo Evita Party. That really gave a bitch some wings. But what happened was I was doing a Evita Party, and I decided in that moment that this was do or die. Not like in life, but I just mean like you have a moment in your life where you just feel like, oh girl, you can be here and this will go well, but you would die here unless you get your lips fatter and
move
want more
on.
for
Yeah,
yourself. And so
exactly.
I messaged them the day after one of the Evita parties, and I was like, I love y'all so much, and I'm so grateful for the platform that you guys gave me to show off what a bitch got. But I think it's the time for me now to spread my wings. And they both gave me so much love. They both was like, yeah, we hope nothing for the best endeavors. And I literally walked into a meeting with Jacob. Shout out to Jacob's at Beaches. And I was just like, look, I want a Saturday night party. This is the budget that I need. And let me know if you can make that happen. And without seconds, he was like, yeah, bitch, you got it.
The first time I think I interacted with you, maybe in person, was at an Evita party.
Yeah.
And you were doing something very special, which I don't really see at a lot of other parties. Maybe it happens in Vegas. It obviously happens at your functions. But like you host the party on a live microphone all night long. And it isn't specifically a performance. It's sort of like an
Hype.
installation. Like you hype up the entire party. You
Create the
rap,
vibe.
You
Yeah.
rap along with the music that the DJ's playing. You call out people and shout out people who are like serving a look or dancing on the floor. And you're sort of presiding over the event, which is like a ton of energy. And the first time I ever saw you do that was at Avita. And you had that huge, beautiful headdress on that all the boys used to wear. And like, I was really impressed not only about how you worked the room, but that they were into that idea, because so many places you go, like they're really sort of they hold on to the mic and they're like, no, it just needs to be like a vibe in here. Like you can't have anyone on the microphone.
But that I feel like that's shout out to Andreas Rigo and Hollywood, because they had faith. Like they didn't know what the would happen. They just had faith that that I had something to offer. You know what I mean? And they literally gave me freedom. And also, like, a lot of the times, like I said, I come to work. Like, I never show up late.
Right.
I like, and you would think I've done Evita or some of the parties for years. Never show up late. Never show up late. I did once. I showed up so up once. We had Demi Lovato one week, and I showed up so to the point Hollywood was like, we ain't giving her the mic. And we're like, we think you should go home, girl. And I wasn't even mad, bitch. I knew.
You were like, yeah, okay.
Bitch, I was already like drenched in food, bitch. It was just a mess.
And Lou.
Yes, bitch. Voice of the hoes for a reason. I am a slutty hoe ass, a booty ass.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm disgusting.
So
But-
with Jocelyn,
Yeah.
you've brought that same energy, because you asked me to perform. I performed with Jocelyn.
Shout out to Big Dipper, and he murdered it.
And I remember talking to you about this after the show. I was like, did you know that young people go out and throw ass for hours and party all night long in WeHo? Because I did not know that.
I knew that. It's scary how late they can stay up.
There were so many young people out.
Yeah.
It was such a crowd that I feel like I don't see out at parties. And you had like, the other thing is like, I also love the DJs, like when they just like play the hits, like play the songs you know the crowd wants.
Shout out to DJ Barry, my resident DJ. I love you so much.
DJ Barry is incredible.
Yeah, DJ Barry is like, there's so much I want to get into. But before I jump into that, I want to say, yeah, what I do is a lot, and there's a lot of energy, but people don't know. Like I am the promoter. I do all the bookings. I do all the paying. I do the emceeing. I do all the booking. I do all the, like, when my dancers throw ass, nobody throw ass harder than me. Nobody dances harder than me. So I will have a whole list of baddies. Shout out to my baddie gang. All my bitches, you baddest. I have like 6 or 7.
Who's in your baddie gang?
Just me.
And who else?
Well, no, I have Austin because he's like great. Avery.
I
this
love
new dancer,
Austin.
Nico. Yeah, like I have like my set go-to go-go dancers. But then there was Nick from Megawolf. Remember him?
Oh yeah,
He's great.
call
too.
him back.
You know what? I will right now. Nick, come back.
Nick,
Nick
if you're out
Miranda.
there, this is your call.
Yeah,
your
but
call.
you have a whole crew of people who like love to be there at the party.
Well, it's because I understand that I've been there. I've been that girl that was a dancer. So what I do in my soul is I make sure that if I was a dancer, how would I want to be treated? So my dancers are, first off, they throw ass and they all bad, but they also got attitude and they also got ego. And I like to water the ego because I love it. Like, bitch, yeah, you a bad bitch, yeah. So my dancers, they don't got set times. Like, you don't have to be up or down at a certain time. Also, like, there's a bottle for my dancers at every party, and y'all get lit as but never ever get messy, and they never ever get messy. So, and they also just have respect for each other and respect for the space because they understand that the space we're creating is for us. Like, if you're on my team, I don't get straight workers. I don't give a what you do. I don't give a if you're the hottest bitch on land. If you're straight, you don't work for me. If you are the hardest DJ in the land, if you're straight, you don't work for me. You have to be somebody, because they got opportunity, especially in WeHo. So that's the space that I want to create, a space where every single person that is clocked in under me is a, you know what I mean, of the fam.
Is a
Fam.
Big
queer. bitch.
What are some critiques that you've gotten from your party? Because I know you occasionally on Instagram will sort of pop off and be like, you haters could never, you're just jealous.
It's not that I don't get critiques, because the bitch could never. Like, you can't, because the thing is like this, you got to be better than me, first off. And a lot of bitches ain't better than me. And I'm not talking about just body or looks. I'm just talking about all of it, bitch. Talent level, not just talent level. I can dance circles around any bitch. I've not seen one bitch that can dance better than me. Like, I just haven't. So I'm just like, that's not the thing. The problem is I haven't been in WeHo. I was never a WeHo girly. Like when I even did Evita Party and all these parties, it was like around, but we've never, even when we did Valhalla, it was like it was hard that we did but it was never like, I don't know, I just never felt like a WeHo girly. Because I'm black. You know what I mean? So that was the main thing. So when I decided to, I believe also, like, if you don't stand for nothing, bitch, you'll fall for anything. So I was like, bitch, I'm going to stand for certain if I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to WeHo with my black ass and start a new vibe.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Who else going to do it if we don't do it? Mm-hmm. So we came to this town. I shout out to Jacob again because he just gave me the opportunity based off of, like, a bitch resume. And we started doing numbers off top, like, and also shout out to all the girlies that, like, because from the beginning, everybody just have said yes. Like, all the Drag Race girls, all the queer artists, like, just everybody in our community. The DJ Alex Chapman is on tour right now. Shout out to Alex Chapman because he just got a Grammy nominations for that song with Troye Sivan. They all just said yes. They all just wanted to be a part of this thing that I decided to create. And what has happened is a lot of places have been going out of business in WeHo. And a lot of other places are going out of business in WeHo. Not saying no names. So when we pop up, and it's just not money thing, it is like a reputation thing. The reputation is like, a lot of these clubs can't get Drag Race girls no more. They don't have the budget, or they just, I guess, don't care, whatever the case may be. So they just like, who is this little black bitch popping up here just got all the girlies, got all the kids coming. Bitches are screaming at the top of their lungs. Everybody twerking all over the place.
It's crazy
and it's
to
outside.
See that. Yeah, because it's like outside, and its beaches is like pretty much in the middle of WeHo.
Yeah.
So everyone's drawn to going there when they see that party.
But it's like
off.
all of it. And it's like it's for everybody too. And that's something, so I think it's important for people of color to have their space, Caucasians to have their space, everybody of whatever you want to have your space. When I think of that, I think of like everybody. So when I created the party, my main goal was to focus on a space where everybody can come. That's it. And like, and if it didn't work out and like only black girls wanted to come, cute. I don't give a shit. Like, but my goal was like, if we're gonna start this conversation about inclusivity, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm. When I showed up, I was like, this reminds me of high school. It made me feel old, but I was having a great time. Mm-hmm. But it did remind me of high school. And can you paint the picture of what 2 a.m. on a Saturday night in WeHo out in the street looks like? It is the Wild West.
It's crazy. It's literally like the Living Dead.
It is.
It's so crazy.
People
you don't
falling
know.
asleep on the street.
People looking like they about to eat you, bitch.
Yes.
Everybody horny as hell. Like, it's
in every alley corner you can find.
I would say, like, for older folks who, take a Uber somewhere, have like go to a wine bar or whatever, I would say go to Jocelyn for a nostalgic time, because it really did, like, it really made me have a great time and like dance, and like just felt like an old school dance party from my experience. But it is obviously very like new and modern and hip.
But you also ate it, you know what I mean?
Sure, but I just mean from my perspective, like I was like, look at all these young people. But it is so worth it to experience the energy, because it really is. It's like, it's so clear that you're doing something like fresh and cool and new on that strip.
Well, I love it. That's why I give 10%. Like when I'm like on stage, like, bitch, I am on stage. 110.
Not 10.
I'm throwing that shit, but also I'm like fat. Okay.
It's just the biggest.
to the point that I feel like all night I give so much energy. So when my artists come up, they pour that into you. No, like, it don't matter what you do. The moment you come up, bitch, everybody's just ready to root for you.
Yeah,
you know what I
crazy.
mean? Yeah, it's such a, I love it so much.
So let's take a break, and then we're going to talk about your music.
Oh, okay.